Hey admins, how we doing? Coming to you from the road. Got a little camera kind of set up here. We'll see if it works okay. I'm sending this video out to everybody in the association because there's a couple of important things I want to cover and I want to make sure everybody knows about it. And one thing is kind of my fault, but I didn't know about a change. So we're going to talk about amusement and entertainment permits for Indiana, and we're going to talk about all sports boards as well, since we had a Super Bowl come up with a tie, and there's some issues there, and some lodges did some things that did not make life easy for themselves. So first, let's talk about the Indiana permit license for entertainment and amusement. Excuse me. This is something that all lodges must have. The law does state that any place basically where people congregate for entertainment have to have this permit. So everyone does have to have it. It used to kind of claim, if you had dart boards, dances, pool tables, gathered for cornhole, karaoke, any of those things that basically you had to have it. But now they're basically saying if it's a place where they congregate for entertainment. So even if you don't necessarily have any of those things, but you still have a social quarters with a bar where people meet for entertainment and to socialize, we have to have this because it is a fire safety issue. Um, you can go online and renew that license. Pre-COVID and even during COVID, you were still able to get the paper renewal form and fill that out and send it in. And on there was a place for tax exempt for us as not-for-profits. All that has changed. Unfortunately, that form is still on their website, which I've asked for it to be removed to remove some confusion. But it's the government. We'll see how they do on that. You do now have to fill it out online, and it is the only way now. So if you go to the Department of Homeland Security, some of the ways you fill it out has changed. Also, there's a form, and I'll be connecting that in with this email to the link for this video. It does state on there that only 501c3s, non-for-profits, which are charities also, are exempt from paying the fee. If you're a lodge and has been sending in a 990 form on that part and they're allowing you to do that, that's great. Keep doing it, but I don't think it's going to happen anymore because it does say in the paper specifically 501c3s, and lodges are 50c8s. We are fraternal non-for-profits, not-for-profits, not 501c3s. I did email the Department of Homeland Security just to double check on that, and they did say that is correct. The fees are not large. Even for the largest lodge, it's going to be a couple $100 a year. But smaller lodges, it won't cost quite as much. I do apologize for those people that I was still telling to do the paper form, because it does seem that this rule changed as of January 1st, 2024. And of course, did the government agency let us know? No, there was probably some email on their website that we were supposed to know exist, but we didn't know. So again, I apologize to those out there that I've been telling, because I know there's been at least a few lodges recently. I said, yeah, get that paper form. It's much easier. So now it has to be filled out online. And we do have to pay the renewal fee, and that fee is based on your occupancy number. So again, sorry. The other thing I want to talk about is the event all sports boards. We had some issues with there being a tie during the Super Bowl this year, and how the form was filled out. Unfortunately, most of us know what I'm talking about. I don't have one of the actual sports boards. All I have is a print off of what they look like. So they're the forms that has the game up there with the quarters, and then you pull off the strips after all the boards filled out, and you have the numbers on the scores. Now I realize football's over, but also some lodges are probably going to have these during the March Madness and the Final Four, because these can be used for basketball as well. This will apply to this also. On the forms, it has the scores for each quarter, and then it has a line where it says final. Same thing over here, it shows the payouts, what you win per quarter, and the final score. What we have to make sure lodges are filling this out correctly, and there unfortunately is more than one way to do it. You don't have to pay out every quarter. Uh, you can pay out, that's fine. But you need to make sure that's written on there. And if they have the fourth quarter on there and there's nothing on the final line, we're going to pay each of those quarters and there won't be a final score for overtime. I don't necessarily suggest that. What I would suggest is on the fourth quarter, putting a line through it, and the final score is where you would have the payout for the final score. So in case there is an overtime, there wouldn't be a fourth quarter and an overtime final score payout. There would simply be when the game was over. But you have to note that on there, and it has to be noted on there before you start selling the board, because we had some people, some lodges that altered them mid-game when they realized there was overtime for the Super Bowl. We cannot do that. That's not doing that correctly. We're going to get ourselves in a little bit of trouble if we do it that way. Also, the lodge should have their gaming policies. They should have it written on there. Even have maybe on the back of that board, there's a place to write. There's just space on there. Have what the rules are there, and that there is no overtime or there is only a fourth quarter score or whatever. But please make sure we're filling these out. And if we're not for sure how to do these, I understand not every administrator is a big sports person. Not every, may not know exactly how to do these. Feel free to contact your territory manager. We'll help you out, because there's multiple ways to do this, and we want to make sure it's getting done right, because we don't want members getting upset, and more importantly, we don't want them getting upset and then calling the gaming commission and trying to get the lodge in trouble because they think they're not paying out correctly. Also on these boards, the lodges have a bad habit of wanting to give all the money they've collected away in prizes. We are a charity, and one of the things that we have to do with our charity gaming license is on games we have to make a profit to give away to charity. So you can't give everything away. First of all, these boards cost between $5 to $8 depending on where you buy them from. So we need to cover that cost. You need to cover the cost of when we take in money, it's going to affect our bottom line for our charity gaming license on how much we have to pay on that. And then again, we have to give some money away to charity. So please, when you're doing this, look at possibly taking in about 20% to cover cost and giving charity away. So, again, if the board, most boards wouldn't be this small, it'd only be $1 a square, but if it was $100, you need to be giving $80 away and keeping 20. Now, granted, that was, let's say it was $10 per square board, so we're talking about $1,000. Try to keep $200. That's going to cover the cost of the board. You're going to be able to give money away to charity, and there's money in your bank account when it comes time to cover the gaming license expense. So you're still giving $800 away. That's only a suggestion. 20% is a nice number to kind of hit for. But remember, you don't have to give this money away every time there's a score change or every time that each and every individual quarter, and even if the first, second, and third quarters, only the person getting their money back. So if it was a, $10 board, they got their $10, that's fine. However you want to do that, again, there's no set way, but make sure you're keeping enough money to do the obligations that we have as the lodge to do. Please don't give all that money away. I talked almost 10 minutes, and I do apologize, but those two things I need to get covered with everybody. If you have any questions on either of those things, the entertainment permit license or how to do an all sports board, please contact your territory manager. Y'all have a good week. Take care.